Game 2 of 4 set for this afternoon in the first round of the Tennessee Community College Athletic Association baseball tournament, and it's a good one. The wild card winner, Pioneers of Volunteer State, facing off against the defending conference champion, Senators of Walters State. Spencer Thompson and Austin Ray bringing you Game 2 of 4 in today's full slate of games. So good afternoon. Starting an hour late because of the 3-hour game lasting between the Chargers and the Tigers, but we've got a good one. Walters State, what more can be said about them? First in the nation on shutouts, second in the nation on ERA, second in the nation on runs, just multiple top 10 stats in many different categories. And the Vol State Pioneers, the only really significant nationwide stat they have is they are 48th in sacrifice hits. So the Pioneers, they did deal the Senators earlier on in the season their first in-conference loss, Austin, but it's going to take a lot more than just that first loss that they had earlier in the season for them to be able to pull it out here, especially with their secondary pitcher starting today, who he himself has an ERA average of 2.04, and that's just their number 2 guy who's starting for this game. And whoever wins this game is facing off against the Tigers. What's it going to take for the Pioneers to pull off the ultimate upset?
Really, for the Pioneers, they're just going to have to focus on the hitting aspect of it because their defense, they have a good defense. It really, their biggest challenge is going to be facing the pitcher with a 2.04 ERA. And the big thing about it is that their number 1 guy, Alex Haynes, he has a 1.21 ERA. So that's just going to have to lead them up to see what they're going to expect if they go up to the next level and they go to the next round, they face Walter State again. Because from what we're looking at, they're more than likely going to pick Alex Haynes within the last parts of the tournament right there, so they can try and get that win. But you also got to expect that Walter State, they've already they're first in the nation for shutouts, which is incredible, 14 shutouts. And so that's just something to keep in mind when they do that, is that they're just going to have to really attack the ball. They got some hard hitters. The pitchers got a lot of movement on their balls, so they're really going to have to focus on that aspect. Not too much about the defense because that's all they practice. Now it's time to get their hitting focus on, because on total for all the pitchers, they've only given up 14 home runs for Walter State, and that's a great amount right there. And so they're really just going to have to focus on getting the line drive hits. They're going to have to focus on getting the bases full and actually getting those clutch moments going into the innings, each outing and everything. So they're just going to have to focus on the hitting aspect, make sure that their defense is still good, even though that's not their top priority. And they're really just going to have to find some sort of weakness for Walter State.
Now, the Senators especially, you look at the stats on the ERA for most of their pitchers. The highest ERA for any of their pitchers is 3.97. So they obviously do not allow a lot of runs in their games, which is why they're number 1 in the nation in shutouts. And again, their second guy is starting at 2.04. So the Pioneers are going to have a tough task ahead of them to try and get some runs. What's it going to take for them to at least get some runs?
So really, for them just to get runs, it's going to have to be the base running aspect of it, and really knowing the situations on every at bat. 1-2 count, they're going to have to choke up and just go for a base hit. No need for them to go for a power hit, and no need for them to try and show off their power if they have it. But they need to start focusing on getting line drives, get the third gap, get the easy singles and the easy doubles that they can get, and just work on from there, because no matter what, it's going to be a difficult task for them, especially when you got pitchers like Corey Stone and Alex Haynes are going to be pitching in this tournament. They're really just going to have to focus on getting the barrel through the zone.
And speaking of which, there's a ball going through. Not sure this is quite the zone you were talking about, but right on first base there. We'll transition over to the headsets. 0-2 on that count and managed to get a base hit. That's the kind of start the Pioneers needed.
Exactly. I mean, just simple base hits, just like that. I mean, no matter how you get on, take the walks, really look for those balls, and stay focused, stay patient, because you're going to get a pitch some way, somehow. And even though that these pitchers are accurate, they're going to give up at some point. Everybody makes a mistake, and there's going to be a mistake pitch at one point, and that's going to be the time for them to actually attack it and put it through a gap.
So already a runner on first with an 0 and with a 1-1 count. They got a quick run on base for the Pioneers leadoff hitter Preston Burnett. Tags back at first. Now their next batter up here, Jordan Jackson, who we just talked about in pregame, a 283 average with a 388 on base. Now a 2-1 count. So foul out for even. And a grounder right to the second baseman. Toss at second. And that's a double play. Brilliant work by the defense of the Senators to get a double play. And they now have Lofton Cotton coming up to bat. Temporarily, our camera has gone out. We apologize for that. Temporarily, our camera just went out. We apologize for that. Trying to get it back up. It's a transition in between innings. They had 2 runners on base for the double play, and nobody left on, heading to the bottom of the first. So Chase Haley steps up to the mound, a 5.08 ERA with 46 strikeouts. Had 12 appearances, but had some spleen complications for 2 weeks. Is now back in the action in the tournament. Managed to come back in and faces off against one of the more prominent hitters for the Senators. And that would be number 11, Drew Haney.
who has a 299 average, a 444 on base percentage, has only been struck out 24 times. O2 count. Here's a grounder to third. Sent back over and out.
Now batting number 7, the second baseman, Jerry Hammonds.
Jerry Hammonds steps up with a 401 average on 182 appearances, leads the team. Got 11 home runs, not the team leader in home runs, tied for second with that. But 18 doubles on the season, leads the team in doubles. Faces a 1-1 count with 1 out in the bottom of the first. Sends it for a foul.
Spencer, you said that he's tied for second in home runs, but if you look, he actually leads in doubles throughout his whole team, which is pretty incredible. That means that he is quick on his feet and he can really drive the ball to where they could be stand-up doubles, or if it's not so deep, he can still wheel it out just to go for a sliding double.
Grounder back over to third. Toss and tossed over. And ruled out of play. Advances to double. Advances to second base. Advanced on an error.
Now batting number 13, the first baseman, Bryce Hodge.
Now Bryce Hodge with a 405 average, 685 slugging. He's got 14 doubles on 168 at-bats. Strike one. And a hit deep to left field, going back towards the wall. Caught by the left fielder. Now Braden Combs steps up.
Now batting number 29, the designated hitter,
The
Braden
DH.
Combs.
And DH with a 387 average, 718 slugging. As a designated hitter, he's made 163 appearances with 72 RBIs. Leads the team in home runs at 13. Here's the 1-0. Bounces right past the second baseman. They're going to send him home, and the Senators get the first run.
That's a great base hit. That's what they usually tell you to do. They always tell you to drive it up back the middle. And the only reason why they say that is because it's too fast for the pitcher. He'll usually try to get out of the way.
Now batting number 15,
And
right fielder,
there's no one over there in the middle of the field usually except for the center fielder. So he just rolled all the way over there and got the easy RBI.
So make that RBI number 73 for Combs. So The Senators make their debut in the playoffs today. Had a first round bye. Had a wild card round bye with being the higher seed. And got a piece there for 0-2. So here's the 0-2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. And fouls out. There's a wild pitch, advances to second. It's 1-2. Runyon with a .412 average and .530 on base. Faces the 1-2 pitch. Swing, it struck him out. So the Senators get the first run of the game. Lead 1-0 at the end of one. Top of the second, Pioneers have up to bat number 17, Lane Harris. Who now has a .306 average through yesterday's wild card game. Now faces the 1-0. Got a piece of that one for it to foul. He's got a .528 slugging average outside there for 2-1. He's been struck out 16 times. And another floater there for an even count. Here's the 2-2. Grounders fair up the third baseline. Can he get there in time? Won't be able to. So 1 out for The top of the second.
Now batting number 19, the first baseman, Chris Barnes.
Chris Barnes with a 275 average. Fouls one out. He's had 51 at-bats. Been walked 10 times. Oh, and 2. It's at the deep left center. Bounces towards the wall. He's going to go for the double. Safe on second. Fantastic hit by Chris Barnes. Now Von Dolan steps up.
Now batting number 1, the third baseman, Maddox Bondola.
217 average with a total of 30 strikeouts on his 115 at bat. And gets a piece of that one for 0-1. Oh, and 2. He's got some strength behind his swing. Just trying to get something going here with this runner on second. And took the pitch. Took the pitch for an out. Struck him out.
Now batting number 5, the second baseman, Judd Sparks.
So now Judd Sparks is on the scene. 200 average. Struck out 42 times and grounder goes foul. Here's the 0-1. Gets it. Catch made, and that's the end of the batting inning for the Volunteers, heading to the bottom of the second.
For the Pioneers,
Michael Robinson up to the plate with a 338 average. He's got 5 home runs on the season. The 1-0 count. It's a swing there, and sounded like he may have gotten a slight piece of that, but 1-1. Of course, one of the big things about the Senators, based on their stat lines and their gameplay, they're more about swinging for the fences than they are about getting men on base. They're just trying to swing it out of the park and score quickly.
Well, yeah, really, I don't really think it's swinging out of the park. I think they really just want a big hit, a big hard hit that they can get to the gap. But I'm pretty sure that
There's one now heading deep right field. Bob up and caught.
yeah, I'm pretty sure if they hit home run, they'd be more happy about that. But I'm pretty sure they just want a big hit and make it at least hit the wall. I'm guessing that's what they're pretty much aiming for. Get that easy double each time, each at bat.
Catcher J.L. Bland.
J.L. Bland steps up with a 336 average, got a 467 on base, 107 appearances through the regular season. And hits it deep to center. Easy catch for out, too.
Now batting number 25, the left fielder, Mason Streeter.
And Mason Streeter hits it right center, going back towards the wall, and couldn't make the catch. And slides into second for a base hit. That was just one of those that he went for the sliding catch but couldn't get it in his glove.
Nah, he was off balance when he got to his knees, so it just made it a lot harder for him to put in his glove. I actually thought that he had it for a second, but just couldn't keep the squeeze on it.
And Xavier Barnett. Xavier Arnett, 300 average, 377 on base. He's got runner on second, and if you're right about that strategy of going towards the wall for the double, that'd give the Senators another run on the board here. There's 1-0. Excuse me, 3-0 on the board. Arnett has been walked 19 times coming into the playoffs. And make that walk number 20.
Now batting number 11, the third baseman, Drew Haney.
Drew Haney faces the 1-0 count. He's been walked more times than he's been struck out. 29 to 24 comparison. Faces a 2-0 there. So runner now on first and second for the Senators with a 3-0 count. Potential to walk and load the bases. Strike there. Here's a 3-1. Low and bases loaded on walks. Now Hammond steps up. He has a 401 average, 681 in slugging. 18 doubles, as we mentioned earlier, leading the team in doubles through the regular season. He also has 11 home runs. And there's a hit to left field. Pops up, and it is caught. That'll end the inning. Volunteers shut him out in the bottom of the second. Top of the third. Volunteers. Volunteer. Pioneers. The Pioneers get a pop up to the right. Looks like it's going to foul out, but caught for the out. And a pop up there. It's caught by the second baseman.
That was an overtowering pop-up.
Big launched one up just inside the infield.
Next batting number 22, the catcher, LeCount.
So LeCount up to bat, facing 2 outs. 340 average. And all 3 hits have been pop-ups, but all 3 have been outs as we head to the bottom of the third. 2019 Tennessee Community College Athletic Association baseball tournament is sponsored by Fairfield by Marriott, Lister Hill Credit Union, Hampton by Hilton, and Alpha Graphics of Franklin. Spencer Thompson and Austin Ray bringing you the action here from Columbia, Tennessee for this year's baseball tournament, hosted at Columbia State Community College, hosting both the softball and baseball tournaments for the conference, and easy catch by the second baseman. Here's the baseball tournament here at Dave Hall Field.
Next batting number 29, the designated hitter, Brandon Combs.
And the DH coming up. And Braden Combs with a 387 average comes back up. It's a big hit to left center. And back towards, and easy catch.
Spencer, you realize something from both of these teams. Each team, they're attacking the ball each time. And personally, right now, it hasn't been working for both teams. I mean, you just saw the Volunteer Pioneers just pop up 3 times, and you got a line out for the first Walter State person and a fly out on the second. You just got to be patient with these, hit a hard ground ball up the gap or hit line drive. It's just one of those two. But then again, Walter State has done well of attacking the baseball all season. So,
Swing and a miss there.
but they really just wanted to attack that ball, and that's pretty much how they've been getting off with being fourth in the nation for batting average and first with RBIs. I mean, it's been incredible for them. So if it works for them, it'll work. But personally, you just kind of want to stay back and relax and watch a pitch go by, 1 or 2, and really just get that mentality of I'm going to drive this next pitch.
The outfield has been the strength for both teams, and that base hit easy for the Senators. Braden running, and Michael Robinson comes back up with a
Now batting number 12, the
runner
shortstop,
on
Michael
first.
Robinson.
Bottom of the third, the Senators have been forced only 1 run, and according to their national stats, they are the 2nd in the nation in runs with 526 in the regular season. So being held to 1 run through 3 innings is fairly impressive, especially for a Pioneers team.
Definitely, like I said, like during the pregame, their defense is great. It's just going to have to be them battling for their base hits and for their runs.
And that's the end of the 3rd inning. Senators shut out for 2 innings straight, heading to the 4th.
For the Senators,
Top of the fourth, 1-0 Senators leading over the Pioneers. The Pioneers back up to bat. Strike one. A strike for Jordan Jackson, who was one of the key players in yesterday's win over the Slokies of Southwest Tennessee. Managed to play into this game here. The count is 2-1. Coming into this game, 283 average, hits it right center, and catch made for out one.
Now batting number 2, the center fielder, Lofton Cotton.
Cotton with a 289 average. And hits it to deep left. And another catch made there. Looking at the majority of, since we're about halfway through this ball game, you're looking at a lot of deep hits by both sides. They're just trying to go more swing for the fences, but obviously their outfields are, both outfields have been outstanding on defense.
Right, and really, they're just getting under the ball too much. They just need to start focusing on driving top or middle of the ball and really just aiming for a gap, which actually they've been going for a gap pretty much all this time. They've been making their outfielders work. It's just a matter of fact of hitting the line drive or just anything to do that you can stay from getting under the ball.
So an 0-1. And grounder to the second baseman. And we are halfway through the game, cutting to the bottom of the fourth. Still 1-0 for the Senators.
0 runs, 0 hits.
Now at the top of the fourth. Excuse me, the bottom of the fourth. Just the scoreboard doesn't have 0 on the top of the fourth there. I'd like to thank our top-notch scorekeeper here in the booth for that one. It's now rule that a strike. That's the 0-2 count. Count is 1-2 for the Senators' Michael Robinson. 1-2 gets a piece of it, but remains 1-2 here in the bottom of the fourth. Back up outside. And again, you're just seeing with anybody on the Senators side, whenever they step up to the plate, you could feel the power behind their swings, that they are genuinely hitting for the fences every time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's just how they learned it. To be honest, it's just swing hard, like the old phrase that they used to say, grip it and rip it. And really, it's just a matter of fact of now just driving through the ball, hitting in the middle of it, squaring it up, and be able to make a line drive, and eventually, some point or another, they actually hit it over. I won't be surprised if they hit one over in this game.
Here's the full count. High up, and they walk him.
Now batting number 25, the left fielder, Mason Streeter.
So Strader with a 315 average. Steps up with a runner on first. Got a double the last time that he was up to bat. And faces a 1-0 here. High for ball 2. Hit all the way to right center field deep, close to hit the wall. He's going to go for the double. Gets it there, and they opt not to send their runner back home. So they managed to get a double there, and the runners on second and third. The Senators with no outs are in a chance to score here. You like that move to hold your runner at third when it's deep out in the outfield?
Yeah, definitely, just because it wasn't hit that far, and the outfielders did a great job of putting the ball in fast. And from the arm from the second baseman, I mean, he one-hopped it, and that wasn't, as you can tell, that didn't even look full arm from him. So, really, it was a smart idea to keep him at third, just to avoid an out that you can easily get 2 runs with right now if this batter does his job.
And speaking of potential out here, there's a pop-up, and they missed the catch. He's safe. It's just the catch couldn't be made by Chris Barnes, the first baseman. Tried to make it there, and now bases loaded with no outs for Walter State. They've got a lot of leeway here.
It's amazing how high they hit that.
Yeah.
I wish we had like a little stopwatch to see the hang time on it.
We got stopwatches on our phones. It's just a matter of having somebody time that. So now, yeah, we didn't think to time it at the time. Drew Haney steps up. Strike 1. Got a grounder, gets past the third baseman. Senators get another run. They're sending another man back to home plate. Darts it down and make that 3-0 for the Senators. Just a base hit for the Senators and a brilliant move to get them in a 3-0 lead. And we get to show it to you once more.
Yeah, just a great hit. I mean, third baseman just didn't get the glove down, so that was on him. It was just amazing that the coach was aware of it, knew how fast his runner would be, and just went ahead and sent him home, which was able to get them that second run in, and hopefully they could produce more right here with the batter up next.
So a 0-1 count. They've got Hammonds up to the plate. 458 on base percentage. He's 681 in slugging. Again, the man who leads in doubles. And last time he was up to bat, last time he was up to bat, it looks like they got just a fly out to left. And 1-1 count. Now he had the bases loaded last time with the fly out. He's got 2 men on base. Goes for the swing there, and 1 and 2. So the Pioneers have a pitcher in the bullpen who's warming up. There's another pop-up here. And caught for the first out of the inning.
Now batting number 13, the first baseman, Bryce Hodge.
Bryce Hodge with 405, 685 slugging. So Burnett is in the bullpen right now. So Burnett warming up, potentially relief pitcher. Grounder gets past the shortstop between his legs. They're sending another one home. Make that 4-0 for the Senators. And the statisticians will rule it an error. 4-0 Senators. And just a quick visit to the mound visit by Coach Hunt. No pitching change as of now, but they've got Burnett warming up in case he needs the relief. Just 1 out, 4-0 for the Senators over the Pioneers.
Now batting number 29, the designated hitter, Braden Collins.
So Combs steps up. And swing and a miss. They've got him stealing second, and potential runner on third. It's caught between bases. Tripped up and out. So 2 outs.
Pitcher got lucky right there. If he didn't stop that ball, then the runner on third would have been already home. But the misintentional catch by the pitcher really saved him from having another run scored on him, and did a smart job of chasing after him and getting the ball to the catcher at the last second in order to get that run down and the easy out.
It's 1-1 after that swing and miss. Yeah, muffed the catch at first, and second base was stolen. But managed to redeem himself for that by getting the third base runner out. Count actually 0-2. And deep left, headed towards the wall. Can't make the diving catch. Make that 5-0 in runs. And double for Combs. And the Senators are just starting to show even more why their statistic is is being the second in the nation in runs. You can see it in his full glory right here.
Just a great hit right there by him right there, and left fielder just out of the reach of it. Almost made a fantastic diving play. Just barely a glove length away from it, but you got to give it up to the hitter for placing that ball real well and able to get his timing down, have the power just to hit it opposite side of the field and bring in a run.
Pitching change when we come back. So Braden Haney is up to bat, but the pitcher in is Preston Burnett, who has an ERA of 5.27, 29 strikeouts, and 18 walks out of 22 appearances. Leads the team in most times on the mound and has allowed 4 home runs. And actually getting a correction here, it's Reed Johnson who's on the mound. It looked like it was Burnett in the bullpen, but they bring Reed Johnson. So his statistics: 4.19 ERA, 16 times on the mound, 16 strikeouts, and 9 walks. He's not allowed a single home run. Now 2-0 count.
Now they got Preston Burnett just stirring around a little bit in the bullpen. So
Yeah, they might actually get Burnett out there at some point, but they're going to warm him up. And hit to deep left, and second home run of the playoffs for Drew Haney. His first home run of the postseason and first home run of the day, second total in this tournament.
And that's his third in the season. I mean, that is just a grip it and rip it right there. That's what they've been trying to do the whole time.
So make that score 6-0 over the Pioneers now.
You could tell that ball was gone as soon as they left the bat, and it was just amazing of how that worked out in their favor too.
Make that actually 6 runs in 1 inning, 1 in the first, so now 7-0 for the Senators, facing 2 outs. And Michael Robinson steps up. He's had 5 home runs himself. And for Drew Haney, that is home run number 3 on the season. One and one. Grounder past the third baseman and shortstop, gets to first.
Next batting number 2, the catcher, J.L. Bland.
So now J.L. Bland, 336 average from 107 visits to the plate. And stolen base at second. Count is 1-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Inside for 3-0. And strike. And that's a walk for J.L. Bland. It's the second time he's been walked this inning. So another mound visit by the coach. They have another pitcher warming up with the bullpen. It's time for a pitching change. So we can confirm officially now that Preston Burnett is on the mound. As we said, most appearances of any of the pitchers with 22 during the regular season. 5.27 ERA, 29 strikeouts, and 18 walks. And he's facing up against Mason Streeter. It was 124 appearances and landed him 5 home runs and a on-base percentage of 432. Strike for 0-1. That's the second pitching change of this inning, and they got another one warming up in the bullpen as well. Even count at one each. And grounder gets right to the shortstop, out at second, and a big 6-run inning for the Senators. They lead 7-0 heading into the fifth.
Leading off for the Pioneers, number 19, the first baseman.
Matthews on the mound for the Senators. Top of the fifth inning as the Pioneers are down 7 runs trying to get something going. Swing and a miss. And we got the catcher got hit with the baseball, kneeling down there, and gonna have the medical staff look at him, make sure everything's all right with him. So we will step aside as they tend to him. So back on the mound, looks like he's back up and all right. So a 1-2 count. 2-2. And heads to the Pioneers dugout. Count is now 3-2. Struck him out.
Now batting number 1, the third baseman, Maddox Von Berlin.
And a big hit to right center field by Von Dolan. Caught. Make that two outs for the Pioneers in the top of the 5th.
Now batting number 5, the second baseman, Judd Sparks.
Judd Sparks with a 200 batting average out of 110 at-bats. He got 42 strikeouts. 9 times he's been walked. Has turned around for 4 home runs in that span. 4 home runs, 6 doubles, and 1 triple as it heads out towards hospitality. You can actually, camera angle doesn't have it at the moment. We can see from here there's 2 balls on top of the hospitality roof. Looks like they're both yellow, so I think those came all the way from the softball field. That's some pretty good distance for the softballs to get over there.
Yeah, it is.
It's now 1-2. Two and two. 2 outs in the top of the 5th. And strikeout. That's the end of the batting inning for the Pioneers. Senators
For the Pioneers,
on deck. Wilkins now on the mound for the Pioneers. 6.32 ERA out of 12 appearances, 18 strikeouts, and 20 walks. He's allowed 3 home runs and 37 hits. And in the bottom of the 5th, a grounder gets right to the second baseman, toss, and out. If the Senators can get it to 10 runs and hold that lead through the top of the 7th, the game would be over. Pioneers would head to the losers bracket for a date tomorrow at 10 a.m. with the Columbia State Chargers. And the Senators would have a matchup tomorrow against the Chattanooga State Tigers. Here's past the second baseman. It's right to first base. That was a hit by the Senators' 11, Drew Haney. And now up to bat for Walter State, Jerry Hammonds. They ground ball into the left field. Runners now on first and second.
Now batting number 13, the first baseman.
10 total hits thus far in span of 5 1/3 innings for Walter State. And Bryce Hodge. Ground ball gets past the first baseman, and they're going to send a runner home, make that 8-0 for the Senators. Now still a runner on first and second. Now 8-0 for the Senators. With only one out. Stepping up for Walter State now is Braden Combs. And strike one. A wild pitch. Runners tag first and second. Ground ball, third baseline. It's the shortstop, fully loaded bases now. So with only one out, the Senators load the bases again. And Braden Runyon, the man who got the second home run of the postseason, is back up to the plate. Makes you wonder if there's an intentional walk coming up or not.
With bases loaded and only 2 runs left until Walter State wins in the 7th inning, I really thought that they'll intentionally walk him. But they might pitch around him and hope that he'll swing for a few pitches, and then once it gets to a hitter's count, then they'll be able to actually pitch him and see what he can do.
There's outside for 2-0. Strikeout there. It's 2-1. Grounder bounces past the pitcher and tossed to safe on second. He couldn't make the catch. And that makes it 9-0 for Walter State. Just couldn't make the catch at second to get the out there. Regardless, it would have been a run home. Now 9-0. Just outside the strike zone of Robinson. Got a 338. He's a 500 slugging percentage. Got 5 home runs. Low for 2-0. See, that's the really interesting thing about the Senators is that regardless of what position you put yourself in, the majority of their batters are very much skilled and dangerous, whether you put them in a fully loaded bases situation or in a scoring play situation.
Yeah, definitely, and they can really find their way around the base. And so far, they've actually, I hate to say it, but they've actually been kind of lucky with the past couple of plays that's happened. I mean, you got 4 errors from Fall State right now, and that automatically puts up 4 runs if you really think about it for them. So it's kind of like they need to focus now on their defense, and while focusing on their hitting now, they let their defense go down a little bit. They let their guard down so much that they almost have no time to bring it back up. But they really just need to focus on their hitting and getting the ball through the zone, driving it, and getting easy base hits and scoring people around.
Full count. Full count, 3-2. Swing and struck him out.
Now batting number 2, the catcher, J.L. Bland.
J.L. Bland steps back up, a 336 average. 1-0. Still fully loaded bases. For a hit to left field. And the catch made. End of the 5th inning, 9-0 lead for Walter State going into the 6th. So defensive change for the Senators. They have their new pitcher, Zach Joyce, who's got, out of 10 appearances, an ERA of 1.38, 22 strikeouts, and 6 walks. It's the freshman right-hander. Giving a little bit of relief for the Senators as they head into the next round of playoff, or looking to head to the next round of the playoffs if everything goes accordingly. Of course, if the Senators end up winning this afternoon's matchup, then they will be facing off against the Chattanooga State Tigers tomorrow. And the loser of this game faces off against the Columbia State Chargers in the first game of the losers bracket. Even count at 2-2. Swing, it struck him out.
Now batting number 9, the shortstop, Cole Flat.
And a pop-up goes foul. Cole Flat up to the plate with 247 average, 270 slugging. Faces an 0-1 count. Just inside for 1-1. Gets it to the second baseman, toss over, and second out of the inning.
Now batting number 22, the catcher, Zeke Lee Count.
Two-0. Zach LeCount with a 440 slugging average. Goes for the grounder, hits right to the shortstop, and toss over. The inning over for the batting game of the Pioneers. Shut out for 6 innings straight, heading to the bottom of the 6th.
For the Pioneers,
Noah Brock, the new catcher for the Pioneers. They've got Colin Crimminger on the mound with a 3.38 ERA, 28 strikeouts, 14 walks. All of that out of 15 appearances, 2 home runs, and 15 hits allowed. Now up to bat is Mason Streeter for Senators. He's got a 315 average, 548 slugging. One 0 count, top of the 6th. Excuse me, bottom of the 6th. One. Here's Streeter on the 1-1, swing and a miss. Make that 1-2. 1 run, and the Senators have the chance to end this game early. And it's ruled a foul tip. Got a foul there. Outside for an even count. Full count now. Jason Streeter has been struck out 28 times and has been walked 21 times going into the playoffs. Faces a full count here against the 28 strikeout Crimminger. Full count in the bottom of the 6th. Swing, it struck him out.
Now batting number 24, the center fielder, Xavier Arnett.
Xavier Arnett. About appearance 143, a 300 average heading into today. On the 1-0 count here with 34 strikeouts on the regular season. Had 11 doubles, 3 triples, and 2 home runs. That's high up for 2-0. It's a grounder right to the shortstop. Toss over and out, number 2.
Drew Hayes.
Now, of course, the Senators 1 run away from having the game potentially end in the top of the 7th, but they could always get a run in the bottom of the 7th and technically officially a walk-off run to end the game, pending if the Pioneers score anything in the top of the 7th. And hit towards center field. Center fielder calls it, and that will end the 6th inning. 9-0. The Pioneers have a chance to potentially force it to 9 innings.
For the Senators, 0 runs.
So the Pioneers seeing their 4th separate pitcher on the mound as they go up to bat in inning 7. Jack Collins with a 1.44 ERA, 13 appearances on the mound. He's allowed only 1 home run and 17 hits, 35 strikeouts and only 5 walks. So the Pioneers trying to get some score here. And Jordan Jackson up to the plate. 283 average going into today.
Leading off for the Pioneers, number 16, the right fielder, Jordan Jackson.
One and one. Now, of course, the good news is for the Pioneers, the way the situation looks, I wanted to, regardless of whether they try to come back and win this or if they take the loss, they still have one more game tomorrow morning. So if you're on the Pioneer side, obviously you want to try and focus and maybe come back in this game. But if you're starting to look towards tomorrow, whether you're playing in the loser's bracket or in the winner's bracket, what's the mentality you're going to be taking in the message going forward?
I really, since they're probably know that they're in the loss right here, I mean, they're not going to give up.
As it's ruled and out.
They're not going to give up. They're still going to play. I mean, even though they're down 9-0, I mean, this is time for them to learn where they're going to need to adjust and really take advantage of what they already have and learn how to progress for it. So it is really just going to be a learning experience for them for the next time out, so that they know what they have to do and hopefully win the next game that they have to play. But at this moment, I mean, now they're just going to be practicing right here, right now. I mean, it's just going to be their own little practice session. They're going to be trying to figure out how they can improve on themselves and as a team, and really trying to make it to the next part of the tournament.
1-1 for Lofton Cotton. I think that 2-1 is he has had 9 doubles and 2 triples in 128 at-bats. 37 hits. Swing it looks like a miss. Maybe got a piece of it, but count is 2-2. Left center, up to the shortstop, catching out. And next up, Noah Brock. 269 average out of only 26 appearances. Has 1 home run, 2 doubles. Got a piece of that for 1-1. One and two. So pop fly up. It's going to go foul, but the catch made. That's the end of the batting inning for the Pioneers. Potentially the last time we see them bat if the Senators can get one more run here in the bottom of the 7th as we head to the 7th inning stretch. The 2019 Tennessee Community College Athletic Association Baseball Tournament is sponsored by Fairfield by Marriott, Lister Hill Credit Union, Hampton by Hilton, and Alpha Graphics of Franklin. And another pitching change on the mound for the Pioneers. Hunter Updike with a 13 ERA in total of 9 appearances. He's allowed 2 home runs, 12 strikeouts, and 10 walks. And new catcher, 28 for Pioneers, Chase Haley. Excuse me. It's actually 26, Noah Brock on home plate as the catcher. So the Pioneers trying to do everything they can for this last stand. 1 run, and the Senators win it in 7 innings. So up to bat for the Senators is Max Raymer.
For the Senators, number 19, Max Reamer.
301 average, 400 on base, and a 342 slugging. It's outside for a 1-0. Three 0. Outside and a walk for Reamer.
Now batting number 13, the first baseman, Bryce Hodge.
Hodge up with a 685 slugging percentage. He's got a runner on first. Total of 12 hits for the Senators throughout the game and 9 runs. No errors at all for Walters State. Grounder to third base, catch and out at second. Quick toss, safe on first. Just 1 out on second.
Now batting number 29, the designated hitter.
Now the
Braden
DH,
Combs.
Braden Combs. 387 average with a 718 slugging. He's been walked 31 times as the DH. Takes a swing and way up into center field. Catch made and tag to first. So now 2 outs. Still a runner on first.
Now batting number 15, the right fielder, Braden Runyon.
Braden Runyon, 412. 530 on base. Senators don't get a run here, then we will play the full 9 innings. Unless, of course, there's a score next inning and the Pioneers get shut out in the 8th. Two outs in the bottom of the 7th. Two-0 count. And foul out left side. And hit to left side, that's in play. Going to the left and caught. So now we head to the 8th inning.
From the center.
Another pitching change for the Senators. It's Andrew Lindsay. 172 ERA, 43 strikeouts, and 10 walks on 14 appearances. And up to bat is Ryan Horn for the Pioneers. And sent over for a foul.
Batting for the Pioneers, number 12, Ryan Horn.
Top of the 8th, a 9-0 lead for the Senators. No more runs by the Pioneers, and 1 run by the Senators would end it. There's a hit left for the 1-2 count. Of course, coming up directly after coverage for this game, we'll be covering the Cleveland State Cougars facing off against the Dyersburg State Eagles. The game is originally set for first pitch at 4:30. It's a grounder. Second baseman catches it for the out. So the Cougars and the Eagles will fight the other side of the winner's bracket, spotting that, and of course the losers on that side go to the other side of the losers bracket. They'll face off tomorrow.
Matt Miller.
Just outside for 1-0. So up to bat right now, Matt Miller. .20 at bats and sends it to left center. Catch made. Second out.
Now batting number 5, Judd Sparks.
Sparks with a .382 slugging has been struck out 42 times in his 110 at-bats. Faces a 2-out scenario and a 1-0 count in the top of the 8th. His team 1 run away from being sent to the losers bracket. A fair ball tossed over to first, and that is ruled foul. One and two. Grounder gets past the second baseman. That's a base hit for Judd Sparks.
Now batting number 15, the designated hitter, Will Dunlap.
Now the DH Will Dunlap comes up. Swing and a miss. Hits it to right center, and catch made. Heading to the bottom of the 8th, 1 run, and the Senators win it.
For the Pioneers, 0 runs,
Headed to
1 hit, and 1
bottom of the
run
8th.
on base.
So new pitcher for the Pioneers, it's Jake Terrell with a 540 average on 6 appearances, 540 ERA, and 5 strikeouts and 1 walk with 2 home runs allowed. Bottom of the 8th, 1-0 count for Michael Robinson. And hits it to center field. Going a little bit back and catch made.
That's Blaine. He's playing second base. He swapped from catcher to second.
So up to bat is J.L. Bland. The 336 average. Two 0 count. Make that 3-0 for the Senators. Inside for strike 1. Gets a hit to left center. And out number 2. And Jacob Jennings up to bat next. A 422 average, 625 slugging. 9 strikeouts and 9 walks. Down to 2 outs, and Senators trying to get one more to at least close this game out, but if not, they can close them out at the top of the 9th. And grounder, the shortstop misses the catch, and that's a base hit for Jacob Jennings. So looks like Coach David Shelton just having a discussion with the umpire. And
Rounding for the Senators, number 21, Silas Butler. Pitch hitting, number 14, Alex Bibb.
Alex Bibb up to bat, who has 81 at bats, 309 average, with being struck out 20 times and walked 12 times. Faces 2 outs here with a runner on first. Lead off on first. One and one. Hits it to left field, stays in play, going through the foul line, and runner to third and a double. So now a chance for the Senators to score here and close it out. They will have a date with the Chattanooga State Tigers tomorrow. So of course, if they finish it out here, or if they hold the Pioneers to under 9 runs in the top of the 9th. Now Drew Haney up to the plate. Has 25 RBIs and a on-base percentage of .444. 1-0 count. Gets a grounder. Caught by the third baseman. Toss over to first, and that'll end the 8th. So we're headed to the top of the 9th. Senators with their last stand. 2019 Tennessee Community College Athletic Association Baseball Tournament is sponsored by Fairfield by Marriott, Lister Hill Credit Union, Hampton by Hilton, and Alpha Graphics of Franklin. Another pitcher in for the Senators as they try to close it out here in the top of the 9th. Drew Vaden with a .274 ERA, 40 strikeouts, and 13 walks on 10 appearances. The sophomore standing strong in his 10 appearances. And the Pioneers have Cole Flat up to bat.
The shortstop, Cole Flat.
274 average. So it comes down to here. And 1-0 count.
The pitchers for Walter State is number 1, Drew Vaden.
Here's the 1-0. Strike one. Strike two. Grounder picked up by the pitcher, straight to first, and out number 1. So the Pioneers, it seems, unless they can make a miracle here, they better start thinking about their strategy against the Chargers tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're going to have to learn how to really put the bat on the ball well. I like in the attackness that they're having, the aggression that they're having when they're up to the plate. It's just that they need to focus on less on the aggression and more on the actual contact of the ball and getting those base hits. And a lot of it is coming from just getting under the ball or getting right on top of it. I mean, there's been a couple of line drives, but there hasn't been that many. So really they need to focus on that, and plus also their defense and base running too. So really just a little bit of all around stuff that they can be working on. Really their main focus should be hitting and fielding.
Speaking of a hit, there's one to right center. Gets him on base. Gets LeCount on base. Now, got Jordan Jackson going up to the plate with runner on first. As the results hold, the Senators face off against the Tigers tomorrow for the second round of the winners bracket. And the Pioneers for the first round of the losers bracket will be facing off against the Chargers.
Oh, they got caught.
And caught between bases. Is that an out?
Nope.
Safe.
That's something you don't see, but usually in that situation, the catcher would usually run over to the runner, try and make him lean towards one way, and then decide whether or not to throw. And just because a long throw like that could, just as you seen, really overthrow the shortstop. Luckily, the second baseman was there to hold on to it, but the runner did just get to the bag on time before first baseman could put a tag on. So great base running by first base from the first base runner. Just gotta make sure that you're able to go when you can go and not get caught.
Grounder to left field. Runner now on first and second. Only one out here in the top of the ninth. Wonder what the Volunteers are trying to work up here. Volunteer Pioneers. Runner on first and second. They've got Lofton Cotton. Lofton Cotton on the plate with a 289 average. And grounder to the shortstop, toss to first for one out and not in time to first base. So 2 outs, but a runner on first and third. Now Noah Brock up to the plate for what could be the final at-bat of this game. Gets a hit past the second baseman, and the Pioneers get their first score of the game. So not a complete shutout for the Senators, as it's still out in the outfield. And that's going to go to run number 2 for a triple. And the Pioneers get 2 runs on the board. And just have a look at this one.
Yeah, I mean, it was a hard hit, right where they wanted it to go, opposite side of the field. Really, it was definitely going to score 1, but you weren't going to expect it to score 2. But luckily, from the right fielder, he missed it, and that gave the Pioneers a good chance.
And with that out, the Pioneers have a date with the Chargers in the losers bracket tomorrow, and the Senators move on to their collision with the Tigers tomorrow afternoon. That'll end it for our coverage of this game. Coming up next, we've got the Cleveland State Cougars facing off against the Dyersburg State Eagles. The first pitch is set for 4:30, but it will be after that. It will, of course, be after that. So we will see you guys same here on this YouTube channel for our third game of 4.